Good morning, my name is Lindsay Hargett, and I've worked for Guarantee RV for the past 16 years. I've sold over 600 motorhomes, and today I'm going to point out some of the key features on why I believe that your next coach should be a Newmar coach. The next thing we're going to talk about is Comfort Drive. Comfort Drive is a steering system that was created by a company called TRW. Newmar recognized the benefit to this. They've added it to their coaches. They have an exclusive with this product outside of Newell to have Comfort Drive steering. What does it do for you? Recently I made a trip down Highway 95 between Las Vegas and Needles, California. It's about a 100-mile drive, and I'm driving down 95, and if you've been on that route, unlike California where you need to drive 55 to 60, Nevada, when the speed limit says 75, you could do that in a motorhome. So I'm driving 75 and I stop in Searchlight at a truck stop, and I get out and it's windy as heck outside. Just the wind is blowing like crazy out there, and I go, I didn't even notice it. Because what happens is when you're driving a coach with Comfort Drive, when the wind pulls you to the left, Comfort Drive steers you center. The dial is adjustable on Comfort Drive, so if you're driving on a straight stretch, you set the Comfort Drive dial between 4 and 5, and if you're on a curvy road, because the steering tries to make you go center, you want to loosen the dial down below 3 so that it easily turns on the curves. The other thing I wanted to express to you is that when I was driving down 95, when I finally made it to Needles, California, just outside of Needles, there was a semi-truck on its side because of the wind. And I didn't even notice it in this coach. And you look at it, it's a big box. It's 12 feet 8 to the top of the air conditioners. I should have had some resistance, but I'm driving with one hand all the way down this 100-mile stretch in these heavy winds. I think if you have any arthritic conditions like I do, I tore an anterior deltoid muscle in high school, and I now have arthritis in a shoulder, and when I'm driving for long time periods, I get fatigued. I do not get fatigued when I'm driving a Newmar coach with Comfort Drive. So we're going to take this out on a test drive, and I'm just going to let you experience Comfort Drive as I drive this coach. One of the things I enjoy so much about driving a Newmar with arthritis in my shoulder is that basically, because of the Comfort Drive, I have the ability to drive with one hand. Recently, when I made this trip to Arizona, I clocked the miles, and it was 2,276 miles round trip from Oregon to where I went in Quartzsite, Arizona. You know, it's one thing to take a 5-mile test drive, but when you take a 2,276-mile test drive, you have a lot to talk about. We're going to be taking some curves, and again, I set the dial at 3 or less because the steering tends to want to go center, and so the looser you have it, the easier it is to steer. Love these wiper blades too. Those are semi-truck wiper blades. I can remember the days when we used to sell 2-piece windshields and the wipers came in the middle and it left 3/4 of the window not clean. With these wipers on the 1-piece windshield, they're heavy duty and they go like this, so they cover 3/4 of the windshield instead of 1/4 of the windshield like the old style. Now we're going to take some curves here. This curve is marked at like 35, and I'm accelerating through the curve. I'm steering one-handed. Now I'm doing 45. Most people by now in their coach would be gripping for life with two hands. I always use this as my test drive course because it's good, because it has a lot of curves, it's narrow, and if you've never driven a motorhome before, one of the things that I'm going to recommend to you is that when I first started driving 16 years ago, somebody taught me you line up your left side of your steering wheel with the center line, and in your peripheral vision you think that you're over the line. In reality, you're right in the center of the lane. I can look at my two side mirrors and I can see I'm perfectly centered within the lane. These things are so easy to drive. I even taught my wife to drive, and she swore she'd never drive anything bigger than a Tahoe. There again, we took another curve. And you notice how stable it is. It doesn't feel like we're tipping over. It doesn't feel like we're driving too fast. And the Comfort Drive is just tracking me as straight as can be. Now, Newmar offers Comfort Drive on all of their coaches. And the other thing that's unique about their coaches, and I'll show that to you when we get back from our test drive, is tire size. All diesel coaches have 22.5 rubber. What's different is the height and the width of the tire. This particular coach we're driving is a 2015 Dutch Star, and one of the things that it has is a 365/70 tire on the front axle and 315/80s in the rear. Most manufacturers are 295/80, and some use a tire as small as 275/70. The bigger the tire, the better the ride. Now, this particular coach also has the Dutch Star up in the Newmar line, has independent front suspension, which adds more stability to our ride. Another improvement on coaches, this is a Freightliner chassis, and the wheel cut is nearly 60 degrees. It would be if we had a smaller tire, but you had a larger tire, you cut some of the steering. This is a minimum of 56-degree steering. But that coach just tracks as straight as could be, as easy as can be. Now we're going to be doing straightaway sections, so then I take the dial. More for your freeway driving, I set it between 4 and 5, and I have found that that is the most comfortable area for me personally. You just have to get in one of these and you have to experience it for yourself and make your own judgment on where the dial feels more comfortable to you. I would generally tell you that you should take a minimum 30-minute drive in one of these. That's about the time it takes to get used to it steering for you instead of you steering it like so many coaches are. The first time I got into Comfort Drive, it was so different than the way I had thought before. I kept trying to overcorrect it, and it's constantly looking for center. So the less pressure you apply to the wheel, the easier it is to steer. This Comfort Drive makes it so easy to drive that I actually prefer driving a motorhome to driving my own car, and I have a nice rig. It's so fun when you get out on the open road. And you don't have to worry about having a bathroom because it's with you. You don't have to worry about a place to eat because it's with you. And if you get tired and you need to take a nap, it's with you. So we're cruising along, Highway 99, headed up to Albany from Junction City. And I'm still enjoying driving with one hand. Another benefit of Comfort Drive is when you have to back into a parking space in an RV park and you want to line up the coach. You just basically point the tail where it wants to go, let go of the wheel, and the wheels will go straight. Makes it a lot easier to park in a campground space. Now, pull through is easy, but backing in, of course, this particular coach is 43 feet that we're driving, so you want it to go straight where you tell it to go, and that's what Comfort Drive will do for you. Wow, I sure enjoyed this drive. I hope you did. Thank you for spending time with me this morning. If you have any further questions about Comfort Drive and Newmar products, please contact Lindsay. My email address is lindsay.hargett@guarantee.com. I'd be glad to take a personal phone call at 541-915-2768, and I look forward to talking to you, and have a blessed day.